Now, this is a bit of a shocker here. It's been a while since we did anything like history related. We did Oversimplified on World War II, and those were great, by the way. Those were great. I actually ended up watching a couple of other Oversimplified videos. I think I watched the American Revolution. I forgot which ones I watched. And I know we did the World War II videos here, but needless to say that I was so enamored with Oversimplified and his style of videos and just how informative. Like I really wish history class was taught how he teaches it. It's fun, it's lighthearted, but it's very informational. It gives you the details, but gives it to you in a way where it's like you don't feel like you're kind of learning wasted, like you're just wasting time. So but again, it's been a long time since we've done anything history related, and so when I saw this, it immediately jumped at me. Out of all the music and a little bit of comedy recommendations, I just saw this and I was like, oh okay, well, let's see. So the video is called "The Greatest Speech in History." Alexander the Great in the Opus Mutiny. Now I'll be completely honest here. I don't really remember. I didn't learn about Alexander the Great in school. I ended up learning about. Now, of course, it's a name that you hear a lot, but I actually didn't start learning about him until college, and we really didn't even get into like his accomplishments, his life, his career. I really can't even remember why he was referenced in a couple of college classes, but I am somewhat familiar with him. I know that he is recognized as one of the greatest warriors in human history. He pretty much conquered, if I'm not mistaken, like I want to say damn near 2 continents completely. Like, and he died young. I want to say he died in like his mid-30s or early 30s. Like he didn't live long, and like he accomplished. That's kind of like the oh my god thing about Alexander the Great. From what I remember, it was like he did so much in like such a short period of time. So that's really all I remember, but I don't remember reading about a mutiny, and I don't remember reading about a speech. So I'm really, really intrigued to learn more about this. And I know a lot of people on this channel, or a lot of people on this video, are probably, this is your first time on this channel. I usually do research when it's my first time reacting to somebody. So I don't want to change my routine. I mean, this is my first reaction to Alexander the Great. So I kind of want to do a little bit of research real quick before we jump into this. We'll make it quick. We won't make it long. So we're going to knock this out real quick. Alexander of Macedon. Alexander the Third of Macedon. Most commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of ancient Greek kingdom Macedon. He succeeded his father Philip II to the throne at the age of 20 and spent most of his ruling years conducting a lengthy military campaign throughout Western Asia, Central Asia, parts of South Asia, and Egypt. So yeah, damn near, like, the dude was wild. Like, the dude, that's nuts to just conquer an entire fucking continent. Like, that's insane. Yeah, that's crazy. By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to northwestern India. He was undefeated in battle and is widely considered to be one of history's greatest and most successful military commanders. I mean, that's nuts. He was tutored by Aristotle. That's where I heard his name. I did have, what class was that? I can't even remember what class I had. And we were actually learning about Aristotle. And Alexander the Great's name came up in that. I think that's what it was. And I can't even remember what class I was in, but I do vividly remember that. Telling me about his invasions. All right. Well, again, I won't get into all of this. I read more stuff on my own time, but just wanted a quick little recap of him and his legacy and what he did and what he's known for. But I'm really excited for this. The greatest speech of all time. So I'm gonna assume this is a speech he gave to his soldiers. So anyway, enough talking, enough of this monologue. Let's see what this is all about. Let's go.
Say isn't meant to stop you returning home. As far as I care, you can go wherever you wish. But I want you to know how you have behaved towards me, and how I have treated you. I'll begin, as is right, with my father, Philip. When he found you, you were mere peasants, wearing hides, tending a few sheep on the mountain slopes, and you could barely defend them from your neighbors. Under him, you began living in cities, with good laws and customs, and he turned you from slaves into rulers over those very barbarians who used to plunder your land. He conquered most of Thrace, taking the best harbors so there was trade and prosperity, and put the mines to steady work. The Thessalians, they used to terrify you. Well, we rule them now. The Athenians and Thebans, always looking for a chance to attack Macedonia, were so humbled, myself playing my small part in the war, that they no longer take tribute from Macedonia, but instead depend upon us for their protection. My father went to the Peloponnese and put their house in order. Then he was declared supreme commander of all the Greeks for the campaign against the Persians. An honor not just for himself, but for all Macedonians. This is what my father Philip did for you. Great enough on its own, but small compared to what you've gained from me. I crossed the Hellespont, even though back then the Persians still commanded the sea. I defeated the satraps of the great King Darius, and made you rulers of Ionia, Aeolis, Phrygia, and Lydia, and took Miletus by siege. The rest of the land surrendered willingly, and their wealth became yours. All the riches of Egypt and Cyrene, which I won without a fight, are yours now. Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, Babylonia, all belong to you. The wealth of Lydia, the treasures of Persia, the jewels of India and the outer sea. You are now satraps. You are generals and captains. What have I held back for myself apart from this purple cloak and diadem? Nothing. No man can point to my riches, only the things I hold in trust for you all. And what would I do with them anyway? I eat what you eat. I get no more rest than you. Many times I have spent the night on watch so that you could sleep soundly. Who among you believes he's worked harder for me than I have for him? Come on! If you've got scars, strip and show them to me. I'll show you mine. There isn't one part of my body, the front at least, that doesn't bear a wound. My body's covered in scars from every weapon you can think of. Swords, arrows, stones, clubs. All for the sake of your lives, your glory, and your wealth.
Real quick. Holy shit. Okay. So talk about the greatest speech ever. This is a phenomenal speech. So how I'm putting this together, based off the title and the beginning, dialogue at the beginning, and I'm gonna need y'all help with this, and maybe he's gonna tell us. So I probably should wait, but he said, "Yo, I just want. We've been on this campaign, this years-long campaign. I just want some of y'all to go home and chill now." And they started a mutiny, that couldn't have been, like, it has to be more to the story. Like, that just doesn't make sense, right? He's saying, "Yo, y'all fought by my side. I love y'all. I care about y'all. But we've been fighting for 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? We getting in fights, we getting in battles now. Some of you guys aren't as effective as you probably." I don't know exactly what the case is, but he said, "Yo, I just want some of y'all to go home." And they started a mutiny. That just doesn't make sense. So I just need some context there. Like, that's crazy. But this is the definition of sometimes of the great Kendrick Lamar. He said, sometimes you just gotta pop out and show niggas. Alright? This is the definition of that. Because a lot of times when you are doing something and you do it at such a high level, people take it for granted. It's very easy for people to forget. When you come from a certain place and maybe you're some years removed from it, or you weren't there for the harshest of times, it's probably very easy to forget where you came from. And sometimes you just got to remind people. You got to say, "Hey, look, sure, I may have done this, I may have done that, but remember where we came from. Remember the circumstances in which we lived in before. Don't take this for granted. And don't take me for granted." And the way he's doing it, like your typical parent, right? He's not doing it in a parent type of way where it's like, "Look, damn it, I'm telling you to do something and you're going to do it because I said so." And you just, as a child, just, I don't want to do it, He like this approach I find to be always the most effective. Look, I'm telling you to do this for a reason. One, because I know what I'm talking about. Two, I have your best interests at heart. You know what I mean? And three, I have a right to do this because if it wasn't for me, look where you would be. And I appreciate that. For one, I want to say that I appreciate that they acknowledged in the very beginning, when it was just the text on the screen, that, look, a lot of this was passed down. This is what we believe he said. We'll never know completely. But I don't believe this. None of what's been said so far to be straight up lies or anything. I do believe this to be somewhat accurate. But I just really appreciate that he highlighted his father's accomplishments and said, "Look, we got a credit history of doing nothing but looking out for my people, for our people. For you to dare question me, the fact that you conspired a mutiny against me, Now, I will say, it said that he executed like 13 guys. Yeah, he would have my full and undivided attention as well if he had just killed 13 people and then say, yo, come here, let me talk to you. I would be scared shitless. But this is, I mean, wow. And now he's talking about, yo, what do I have? What, like, y'all talking to me and acting like we've been doing all of this and I've gained all the glory, I've taken all the credit, I live in $1 billion house and y'all live in huts. I don't have nothing special. I eat what you eat, I sleep when you sleep. I do, like why y'all, like it's nothing worse. That, like, that's one of the worst things ever, right? Is when you begin not to appreciate somebody that you've been through hell and high water with. In this case, for nothing. Again, it got to be some more context to this, because it doesn't make sense that he said, yo, I just want some of y'all to go home and chill. You're not. Now, I don't know if that was considered dishonorable, like to tell a soldier to go home because you're not helping us anymore. Maybe that's the case, but like, it doesn't make sense for him to say, yo, I just want some of y'all to go home, and then y'all try to rebel against it. Like, that just doesn't make sense. So, but maybe they're gonna tell us, or I don't know, but y'all let me know. Like, that's a little weird, but this is great. This is great. I want to hear the rest.
And yet here I still am, leading you as conqueror of land and sea, rivers, mountains, and the plains. We've celebrated our weddings together. Many of your children will be cousins of my own. I've paid off your debts without asking how you got them, even though you're paid well enough and pillage every city we take. Many of you wear golden crowns, badges of courage and honor given you by me. Any one of us who was killed, who met a glorious end, we buried with full honors. Many now stand immortalized by bronze statues in Macedonia. Their families are honored and pay no taxes. Under my command, not one man has been killed fleeing the enemy. And now I wanted to send back some of you who've been wounded or crippled, or have grown old, to be welcomed back home as heroes. But since you all wish to go, then all of you, go! Go home and tell them that your king, Alexander, conqueror of the Persians, Medes, Bactrians, and Scythians, who now rules over the Parthians, Chorasmians, and Hyrcanians as far as the Caspian Sea, who's marched over the mountains of the Hindu Kush, crossed the Oxus and Tanais rivers, even the Indus, first to cross it since Dionysus himself. I would have crossed the Hyphasis too if you hadn't cowered in fear. Who sailed into the Great Sea from the mouth of the Indus. Who crossed the desert of Gedrosia, where no one had ever led an army. Who took Carmenia, while my fleet sailed the Persian Gulf. When you get home, you tell them that when you made it back to Susa, you abandoned him and went home, leaving him under the protection of the foreigners you'd conquered. Perhaps this report of yours will seem glorious in the eyes of men, and worthy in the eyes of the gods. Be gone!
Thank you to all the Patreon supporters who helped create this video. If you'd like exclusive early access to videos like this, and the chance to vote on future topics.
Who's this guy's name? Patrick Kennedy? Boy. phenomenal voice. Phenomenal voice. I'm sure he does a lot of voice acting. I'm not familiar with any of his work, but he has a phenomenal voice. And his articulation, I mean, Jesus. And the art. Russell Herneman, phenomenal. So yeah, it didn't really answer the question for me. He said, "Yo, I just want y'all to go home and be greeted as heroes and kings of everything that we accomplished. Some of y'all got old and sick. Like, we've been at this for years now. I just want some of y'all to go home." And they again, I'm gonna. It has to be something. There's more to it. Like, that just doesn't make sense. I just want some of y'all to go home because y'all old, beat up, and I want y'all to return home as kings, as heroes, as soldiers. You know, when you die, your family will pay no taxes, and you're a hero. You're a fighter. You're a warrior. Nothing to be ashamed of. And they started a mutiny. That just doesn't make sense. So if you guys know more detail, please let me know, because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So and another part that I forgot to mention in the earlier part, he said nobody has died fleeing the enemy. Meaning that we didn't lose no battles. So, like, we just read that he didn't lose no battles. Because I interpreted that two ways. He either means, yo, we didn't lose no battle. So everybody that died, they died in a victorious battle, that their sacrifice was made in a way that we won the battle, and that their loss was not in vain. And we win. So even though we lose some guys along the way, their loss ain't in vain. It wasn't done in a losing effort. If we gonna lose guys, we gonna lose guys moving forward. So I either took it as that, or he was saying, yo, I've never put us in a battle in which guys would die. I never just sacrificed guys. You know what I mean? So, because he said, not one man has died under my command fleeing the enemy. So, I'm taking that to mean, yo, we didn't lose. We didn't lose. And no soldier that I have lost have died in a losing effort. That's how I'm taking it. But y'all let me know if I'm wrong in that. But my favorite part is the part that came on right after I hit on pause, was he got real personal with him. See, everything before was kind of like, yo, this is what I did for us as a people, as a country, as a kingdom. Like, this is what I did for us, for everybody, for your kids and your kid. They got personal. That's what I like, when you get personal with them. He said, yo, some of y'all are like literally my brothers. Your kids are back home right now playing with my kids. We're brothers. Y'all fighting me and getting mad at me? What are you doing? Like some of y'all share the same blood as me. We literally are family, some of us. Like, and you about to kill me, or you upset with me? Or like, that's insane. That's insane. So that actually might have been my favorite part. He was like, look, come on, y'all my brothers. All y'all. Like, I can't, like, we like we eat at the same dinner table. Again, our kids play together. We go on vacations together. Y'all my brothers. What you doing? How y'all gonna do me like, out of all people, how you gonna do me like this? I felt them on that, man. I felt them on that. That's a phenomenal speech. That's a phenomenal speech. I wish we had more leaders like that. Because far too often, us as people, as citizens, you know, we may get too caught up in our own personal agendas, and you know, we forget, you know, we forget what someone may have done for us. And sometimes we need a reminder. You need a reminder. You don't shove it in people's faces every chance you get, right? But clearly, this is something. Clearly, it wasn't shoved in their faces. He felt the need to do this and say those things to them, because clearly they have forgotten. See, that's the key. That's the key part to that Kendrick quote. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show them. You could imply, when you say pop out, meaning it comes out of nowhere. Because people will forget. They will forget all the things that you have done for them. And sometimes you just gotta remind them. Again, you don't shove them in you don't shove it in their face. You don't belittle them. But you just gotta remind them, hey, look, this is what I've done for you. Now, don't start acting funny. And what I'm asking of you isn't like I'm asking you to do something dishonorable. I just want you to go home and chill. And now you acting funny and you trying to fight? Like, what's up with you? That was real. That was real. They said they all got emotional and cried and begged for his forgiveness. I bet they did. I bet they did. I mean, it's terrible. That's terrible. And again, you know, you really wish we had more leaders like that who were firm. And again, you don't rub your accomplishments in people's faces. You don't become clowns, but you just got to be firm and just remind people of what you've done for them. And can I just say, the things that he did, you know, that soldiers' families pay no taxes and they come home as warriors and they have statues in the kingdom. I mean, when you just think about how we treat our soldiers when they come back home, it's absolutely disgusting. And so when I hear that, it's like, oh my gosh. But man, yeah, it's one of the best speeches I've ever heard. That was a phenomenal speech. Like, gave me chills, certain parts. Yeah. Wow. See, now, look. Now we about to start a whole history journey here on this channel, which I wouldn't mind. If y'all want me to start getting into some history stuff. History was always kind of one of those classes that I did good in. Because I was always one of those people that was like genuinely interested in like history. Like, I do like learning about history. So I wouldn't mind doing some history on the channel. More history. Again, I just kind of saw this request and jumped on it. But if you guys want some more of this, y'all let me know. I'm definitely down. This was entertaining. It was interesting. It was informational. It was fun. I love the animation of it. Again, this voice, Patrick Kennedy, phenomenal voice. Everything about this was great. So definitely down to do some more. But yeah, man, y'all let me know what else I should react to from this channel or from Alexander the Great. Y'all let me know. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget that 75K giveaway. And until next time, peace.